This is Madison Square Garden in downtown Manhattan, where the first annual American Cup International Gymnastics Competition will take place. The conclusion of the two-day event, and this is the cup that the competitors will be competing for. 6 men and 6 women from 7 countries. Hi, this is Warner Wolf. Working with me this afternoon, one of the finest ladies ever to represent this country in women's gymnastics, Kathy Rigby. Kathy, what about the women today?
Well, the girl that's been stunning the gymnastics world, Nadia Comaneci, is here. You know, in my 13 years with gymnastics, I never have seen anybody so completely dominate the sport.
Thank you, Kathy. Also working with me today, former All-American gymnast, now professor at Cal State in Los Angeles, Gordon Maddox. Gordon, what about the men?
Matsuo Sukahara from Japan is the odds-on choice. If he stumbles, there's one guy waiting in the wings that'd love to steal that cup from him. 18-year-old high school senior Bart Connor. Wait till you see this kid.
Thank you, Gordon. Now let's pick up the action in the uneven bars. Before we go to Nadia on the uneven bars, let's take a look at her earlier winning performance, Kathy, on the vault.
Okay. Nadia's the only gymnast I've ever seen who has complete control over this vault. She has great height, good position. Now watch this, good push off the horse. Like I said, tremendous height, and she just nails it. Can't ask for much better.
The #1 ranked woman gymnast in the world, getting ready for the uneven bars.
Bella Caroli, Nadia's coach, has said that since she's 6 years old, she has never cried. That just shows you the mental toughness this girl has. Her strength is so tremendous on this piece of apparatus.
Wow.
It doesn't even look difficult. Full twist, perfect. The crowd really can appreciate this. She works so easily.
Continuous motion, non-stop.
Watch this now. They're called 2 flanges. Watch this dismount. Beautiful. Unbelievable. This girl is really going to be a winner. Really a champ.
Nadia Comaneci.
Okay, here she goes. Right into her dismount. She must get a good rotation. Pop those feet off. Half twist with a back somi. And she just lands it perfectly. Beautiful job.
And the score for Nadia Comaneci on the uneven bars, 9-9-0.
She deserves it. Beautiful. You can't ask for much more.
This is 4'7" Elena Davidova of the Soviet Union, who needs a 9.55 to move into second place ahead of Nadia Comaneci.
Now she must rely on strength because she doesn't bend the bar for a lot of push or a lot of spring. She barely bends that bar. Oops!
Oh.
Little miss. That's going to cost her
a
great deal. She can get her composure back now and
Does she pick up where she left off, Kathy, or start all again?
She picks up where she left off. Good dismount. An unfortunate miss. Too bad. She did a great routine on this bar yesterday, but those things happen, especially with an inexperienced gymnast who hasn't been around international competition long. Here's her miss again. She gets ready. She goes all the way around up to a handstand. Nice position here. Now the reason she misses is because her rotation was much too early and she didn't wait till her shoulders were over far enough. See, she's right over the low bar and she needs to get a little farther out. Too bad.
A low score of 8-7-0 for Davidova, which will move her out of the top 3, and that'll move Kathy Howard into second place.
Quite unhappy. You know, many people ask if this is not the new Olga Korbut, but you know something? I think in Russia they have hundreds of little Olga Korbuts coming up. They could host a team of three different teams and still come up with a great program in Montreal.
All right, the standings after 2 events with 2 to go. Comaneci in first place, Kathy Howard of the United States in second place, and Yoshida of Japan in third place. All right, Gordon, before the ring competition, let's bring you up to date on what happened earlier today in the men's competition.
Well, in floor exercise, the highest score achieved was 9-6 by maybe the most explosive gymnast in the meet, Andrzej Shina from Poland. Doing a double full twister for a dismount, and he really socks it.
Andrzej Shina of Poland.
And in the pommeled horse event, a most pleasant surprise. American Bart Connor pulling maybe a great upset in scoring 9.35 and the leader on the pommeled horse event.
Before the ring competition, these are the standings after 2 events with 4 events to go. China of Poland in first place. Bart Connor of the United States at second, and a tie for third between Markelova of the Soviet Union and Sukahara of Japan. This is Vladimir Markelov of the Soviet Union, 18 years old.
Hardy's pulled to an inverted hang. He'll do a back-up rise. First an in-locate back-up rise handstand. Giant swing. Now this move is a difficult move. It's a relatively new move. It's called a whippet coming up right now. That's the whippet into an immediate L cross. Nice combination. Drops to a cross. Now he lowers, slow roll.
Gordon, it appears the strength under the arms is the...
Well, not under the arms exactly, but all over your body. This event requires great strength. Now here comes a big dismount. A half in, half out twisting double flyaway.
Nice.
Here we are, the whippet, again dropping down immediately to that L cross. Very nice position.
A very high 9.65 for Vladimir Markelov. Here he is, the men's world champion in the rings, Don Grecu of Romania.
And it's incredible. He does a back roll to a cross, pulls out. This routine is 20 years old. He's gone back a couple of generations in style. That slow kip roll was done when I was competing, and that's a lifetime ago.
That was 1900, wasn't it?
Right. But he does it well. You know, and he makes few mistakes on the rings. He is so doggone strong. And of course, that's a premium here. There's a giant swing now in each direction. Look at those hands, squeezing a little ring juice out.
He began late in life, Gordon.
There he does a low bounce back up to the cross, and the crowd loves that old strength stuff. That's like Muscle Beach, California.
He was 12 years old when he started.
Look at the height on that double flyaway. Wow! Good exercise. We'll all be going back a generation now. Watch this now in slow motion. He does it so slow, you really don't have to slow the machine down very much. He's lowering all the way down. He'll bounce in a back lever, pull right back up to the cross. And that is tough.
The score for Dan Grecu, pronounced Don in Romania, 9.85. 9.85. So as expected, the world champion in the rings, Dan Grecu, has the best score on the rings. So the overall score after 3 events with 3 to go, China and Grecu tied for first, Markelov of the Soviet Union in third. Well, we've seen Nadia as a performer, but here she is as a normal 14-year-old 7th grader, just like perhaps your daughter. Here she is sightseeing earlier this week here in New York with her coach Bella Caroli, checking out one of the great monuments of our country.
Diferite limbe. Aici engleză, spaniolă, nemțească, iar engleză, spaniolă.
After practice Friday, we had a chance to talk to Nadia.
Are you looking forward to the Olympics?
I want for myself gold medals.
Gold medals. How many?
5.
5? Does it bother you to constantly be compared with Olga Korbut?
I'm not Olga Korbut, I'm Nadia Comaneci.
This is Warner Wolf with Kathy Rigby and Gordon Maddox in Madison Square Garden for the first annual American Cup Gymnastics competition. And this young lady is Kathy Howard of Oklahoma City, currently in second place in the overall competition.
She's not only a dynamic tumbler, but also very flowing in her ballet. Watch her first tumbling run. She uses a lot of tumbling moves all together. She doesn't just do a round-off layout. She does a round-off, flip-flop, whip over, to a half twist. Very nice tumbling run. Lots of moves.
And what a story here, Kathy. A last-minute substitute for Ann Carr, who injured her ankle in practice on Thursday. And they called up Kathy Howard 11:30 Thursday night, got her out of bed and said, come on, get a plane and come up here on Friday. And here she is.
Her first reaction was, great, I'll do it. She's had an injury on her knee and on her ankle, and she's just recovering, so she hasn't been in practice long. But she's doing an excellent job.
17-year-old senior in high school, Kathy Howard.
This event is like running the 440. You just run at full blast and you're so exhausted at the end you can hardly move.
Is there a time limit on your performance, Kathy?
A minute to a minute and a half.
And you accumulate the routine, its ideas from yourself and your coach.
Exactly. And her last tumbling run, layout, very smooth routine, nice exercise. And the crowd loves her.
5'4", 110-pound Kathy Howard of Oklahoma City.
An excellent job for just stepping in. Here's her last tumbling routine coming up. See that she's a little bit tired, but with an ankle injury, she really gives it her all, a true champion. Here she goes. And she must get a lot of punch here, and that really hurts on the ankle, but she does a great job. Good height.
And the score for Kathy Howard, 9.
Beautiful.
5.
And the score, 9-8-5 for Kathy Howard, 9-8-5.
The final
She
competitor
certainly is happy.
for women's
Now some do one extremely difficult move. Nadia does two right in a row. An aerial cartwheel, and she must come out exactly straight right into a back handspring. And a well-deserved 9.95.
Nadia Comaneci in her floor exercise, needing only an 8.50 to win overall.
You know, despite how terrific this girl is, she's still up against an obstacle. She's a threat to the Russians, who dominate the judging through allies who want their friendship. And she has to perform a 12.0 routine. The great thing about it is she can. Great eye contact. Here she goes, double back. Beautiful.
Wow.
Excellent. She
Nadia
does subtle
Comaneci.
movements that just take over the crowd. Here's her second tumbling run. Now watch the ending of this. Right to a straddle. A little of her own personality, her own style. Great balance. You wonder where she pulls all that strength from.
4 feet 11, 86 pounds.
Here's her last tumbling run. A double twist. Beautiful. Look at the height on that. Oh, great. She is, what can you say? She's just unbelievable.
14-year-old Nadia Comaneci of Romania.
And here's her last tumbling run. Watch the height at the end of her routine. Nails it perfectly.
10.0.
A perfect score. 10.0 for Nadia Comaneci. A perfect score.
The first time I've never seen anyone get a 10. And she deserved it. That's what's so incredible.
So Nadia Comaneci shows why she is the #1 woman gymnast in the world. She wins the overall competition.
match with Olga Corbett should be something else in Montreal.
An unusual sight in gymnastics, a perfect score, 10.0. You see it for Nadia Comaneci. So Nadia Comaneci wins the overall women's competition. Kathy Howard of Oklahoma City, second, and Elena Dadivida of the Soviet Union, third. Yet to come, a comparison of Olga Corbett and Nadia Comaneci and the men's final event coming up. This is a picture of Olga Corbett, commonly recognized perhaps as the #1 female gymnast in the world today. However, in reality, Nadia Comaneci of Romania, based on performance, is the #1 female gymnast in the world today. Olga and Nadia have never met. However, they will meet head-on in the 1976 Olympics in Montreal. For a comparison of the two, Kathy Rigby and Gordon Maddox.
Okay, Warner, in this corner, 4'11", 86 pounds from Onesti, Romania, the challenger Nadia Comaneci.
And in the other corner, also 4'11", 86 pounds from Grodno, Belorussia in the Soviet Union, the defending queen, Olga Corbett. Let's take a look at them event by event. Involving contrary to accepted technique, Olga comes into the horse very high and leaves the horse relatively low. But the nature of the fast, twisting vault literally dazzles the judges and allows Olga to get away with a very low vault. Now watch how low she remains coming off that horse. It's new, it's spectacular, but it's not perfected.
That's right, and she doesn't have much time to play around with it. Montreal is much too close. Now, Nadia's vault has been done before. It's called a Sukahara. But she probably does it better than the man who invented it. Now, she has a very powerful run, gets a lot of height off the board, tremendous amount of punch. Look at the height right there.
Kathy, it's the strongest vault I've ever seen.
It sure is, and a great landing, no steps.
Now, this is the event that catapulted Olga into fame, and yet here, she has never won a championship. Her routine is original, it's spectacular, but really doesn't require a great deal of athletic precision. She doesn't twist, she doesn't shoot to handstands, she doesn't have particular strength. She just brings down the house.
Now, both gymnasts have spectacular and original moves, but Corbett's stunts, once the timing is learned, are easily repeated with a lot less risk. On the other hand, Comaneci's move, in addition to the timing necessary, have a higher risk factor because the tremendous strength involved. Now, most people think that, just because a move is spectacular, that it's difficult. Well, that may be true some of the time, but not necessarily so.
Well, she's so good, Kathy, that I believe that she could repeat this routine 100 times in a row.
I think I've seen her do it. She does 42 chin-ups in a row.
Incredible. In this event, floor exercise, Olga is almost totally showbiz. Again, she doesn't do any twisting, tumbling. In fact, she doesn't do anything particularly difficult. But her theatricality places the audience, and the judges right where she wants them, in the palm of her hand.
That's right. Nadia has not had any formal ballet training, but she does choreograph a routine to her own dance abilities. Now, nobody can possibly beat her in the tumbling area, though.
Kathy, at this moment in Munich, the world was hers. Do you think Nadia will profit from Olga's style?
I think she's working on it. In 1972, Olga was the new upcoming pixie. That style won't be sufficient this time. Nadia is now the underdog.
Well, here's Olga working on the audience. In fact, this is right at Madison Square Garden 3 years ago, where she performed before the largest crowd to ever view gymnastics in the Western Hemisphere. And this lady can really manipulate the audience.
I think you see a little bit of Olga here. Nadia is learning also the crowd does influence the score.
Kathy, the balance beam, is the one event where Olga legitimately won a gold medal with perhaps the truly most difficult elements in the Olympic Games. This backs Summy into an immediate front off.
Now let's take a look at Nadia on the balance beam. The site, she in Norway. The event, the 1975 European Championships. The commentators, Bud Palmer and Kathy Rigby. This great moment in the world of sports brought to you by the St. Regis Paper Company.
She has absolutely no pressure, it looks like, on her right now. She looks like she's just breezing through this.
Instead of the pressure of winning the European all-around at 13 and a half years old, it looks like practice.
Oh, I know. Just watching her in practice before, she's doing the same thing here. I think she's out to grab that championship.
I just don't understand how a 13-and-a-half-year-old can have such poise.
Well, at this point, she has everything to gain and nothing to lose. Now, coming up, she has a tumbling move that is very blind. You cannot see where you're going at this point. And she does them extremely well. She's working just like a real champ right here.
That 4-inch wide beam looks like a sidewalk the way she works it.
A double twist. Unbelievable.
Before we go to it, let's take a look at what happened earlier.
Well, in the vault, American Bart Connor moved himself up in the overall competition with this beautiful vault with a 9.45. A pike Sukahara. There he's done a cartwheel on top, pike position. Very well executed vault. And on the parallel bars, Soviet gymnast Vladimir Markelov turned in an excellent performance, scoring 9.35 with this beautiful exercise to move into second place. Here you see a backup rise, front somersault into an immediate swinging pirouette. Fine combination.
So with one event to go, these are the overall standings. In first place, Dan Grecu of Romania. Vladimir Markelov of the Soviet Union in second place, and in third place from Morton Grove, Illinois, Bart Connor of the United States. This is Bart Connor in third place, attempting the horizontal bar, the high bar. He needs a 9.25 to pass Sukahara, who is in first place at this point.
And Werner, an interesting story, a story I think needs telling. He's a high school competitor. He went to Mexico City to represent his country in the Pan American Games, and because of an Illinois high school rule, missed over 10 days of school and was declared ineligible to compete in high school in Illinois while representing his country. I consider that incredible.
I agree with you, Gordon.
This is a good event. Hecht vault, good event for Bart. He scored a 9.9, in fact, in a compulsory meet against an international team recently. Nice forward stalder shoot. Let's see him hit his full in, back out, flyaway. Oh, yeah!
Good finish. Bart Connor needing a 9.20 to tie and a 9.25 to pass Sukahara, who has already completed this event.
All right, here's Bart's dismount again in slow motion. It's a full in, back out, a full twisting double flyaway. He's got to get above the bar to make this baby work. There he goes up with a full twist. Now he sucks another back semi out of it. About as good as that dismount can be done. I think that's your new leader.
Bart Connor needing a 9.25 to pass Sukahara, a 9.20 to tie Sukahara, who has already finished his competition.
We've got a judges' conference going on. If the two middle scores are too great, they have to call the judges together. And there it is, a 9.6.
That's it. So Bart Connor of the United States moves into first place in the overall competition. Dan Greco of Romania, the last chance to catch Bart Connor of the United States.
I don't believe it's possible, but I could be wrong. I have been before. He's a super strong gymnast, but he isn't that elegant. He doesn't work with the same kind of swing that Bart does. There's a very low cast into a German giant with a cutaway. Now he's in reverse grip giants, pivots to front grip giants, back to another blind change, and here's going to be a Hecht dismount. I don't believe he can do it. I think we got an American champion.
Greco needing a 9.40 to tie Connors and a 9.45 to win. The United States has not won a medal in gymnastics since 1932 in the Olympics. Dan Greco needing a 9.40 to tie Bart Connor and a 9.45 to win this meet. A 9.30, so Bart Connor becomes the first American gymnast since 1932 to win a medal.
The crowd doesn't know that an American has won. They're booing the Romanian score. Wouldn't happen in Europe.
Bart Connor, 18 years old today. What a birthday present. 18 years old today. Bart Connor wins the overall competition.
I can't tell you how proud I am of this young kid. I've been watching him now for a year. I'll tell you, if anybody gets any medals, it's going to be these new young lions that are coming on the scene. Sensational.
So Bart Connor wins the men's competition. Nadia Comaneci of Romania wins the women's competition with Kathy Howard of Oklahoma City second.